All right, welcome everybody to our Thursday continuing education program. My name is Paul Croto, and we are here talking about leadership development. We're going through a program called The Power of Five. And on today's lesson, we are talking about connecting. So what's happened so far that we've established is that the things you need to be successful in this coaching business, number one is personal growth. And I got to I can't think how many years ago this was. Probably like 5 years ago, when John Maxwell was speaking at GoPro in Las Vegas with Eric Worre. And I already gone through the John Maxwell certified. I became a certified John Maxwell leadership coach a long time ago. And I was excited to see Eric again and see John and everybody. So when I was there, I was talking to Eric before, like a day before the whole thing started. I flew in a day early to hang out with him. And he was saying that tomorrow's speech, because I asked him, I said, hey, how does the program look for the next couple of days here? You got everything set? And he's like, yeah, I'm super excited about my speech, to be honest with you. And he said the first 45 minutes of the GoPro is going to be the most important 45-minute speech I ever gave. And I'm like, wow, like this guy's given a lot of speeches and said a lot of great things, For him to say that, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to make sure I'm there on time and get a front row seat for this one. And this had to be 5-6 years ago. And it was absolutely the best speech ever. I don't want to say it was difficult to hear, but it's the truth if you really, really, really think about it. And so the harsh truth behind all of this is that everything we do is to buy time. That's all we're doing is buying time. We run double QV, we run Christmas in July, we run specials, we do all these things. We do health evaluations, we do initial consultations, all these things that we do. All of it is to buy time. And what we're buying time for is to create leaders. At the end of the day, this is all said and done, it's going to be the leaders on your team that, I don't want to say matter most, it is what matters. So what happens in a lot of companies, and to be honest with you, this company is no different, longevity, sales go up. So you see, if you chart sales, they're on this curve going, this straight line going up, sales are great. But if leadership doesn't stay with that curve, sales fall. So, you can have great clients and everything and great products, which we do. But the main thing is leadership and creating leaders. So there's a great book out, it's called The One Thing. So the one thing, and so that basis of the book is what's the one thing you can do so that, if you did that, all other things would become easier in your life. And that is creating leaders. It's everything. So it's growing yourself so that you can create leaders and you can attract leaders. So there's nothing more important than to wake up and do personal growth. You're thinking, well, Paul, you told me I got to get this funnel thing going on Monday and I got to put people in the funnel. You put people in the funnel after you do personal growth. It's got to come first. And this is, what Cheryl and I had done, I don't know if it's 2 months ago or 3 months ago now, I lose track of time a little bit, but we made a conscious decision to basically stop everything we were doing class-wise and go from being in training mode. Oh, we're having a training call. Like I decided, like 2-3 months ago, we're never gonna have a training call again. Because what we need is development calls. We need to develop people. So that's why I jumped into this program with John and invited all of you to join us with this, because it's about growing people, growing yourself. So that comes first. That's the first thing you need to be successful, is you've got to grow yourself, and you have to understand the importance of leadership. And the second thing you got to be good at to be successful in this business is connecting with others. So connecting matters, and that's today's lesson. John talked about a great book. It's, I would say, so there's Think and Grow Rich, and then there's How to Win Friends and Influence People. I mean, those got to be 1, 2, as far as books written, besides the Bible. That you just, so we talked about this bookshelf he has in his house, sitting across from his desk, about 30 books he has. And I'm going to make up my list of, I don't know if it's 25, 30 books where I could point to each one of those and say that book changed my life because of this, something it gave me. And so there's not like 300 books. There's a couple dozen that are super impactful, that you just forget about reading all the other stuff. Just keep on reading those 24 books over and over and over again, because that's where all the value is at. This morning I did a daily dose call, and I will get that recording hopefully posted on these notes here, because you can actually post videos in here. So I'll get that from Linda, and I thought it went great. It was about enthusiasm. Thank you, Heather. So I thought that went really well. And there was a book, so it's the 17 Principles of Success that we're going through on these daily dose calls. So it's the last Thursday of every month that Cheryl and I do that. And it's super important to be on those calls and to get that book, because it's one of those books, it's in the top 5 books of all time. Just go through these principles and understand these basic principles that you're applying to your business. So I love books like that. So then John talked about walk down the people path. So this is a people business, and that's what leadership is about. It's about the people. Okay. If you're saying you're a leader, but you're just walking down the street and nobody's following you, you're just taking a walk. You're not leading anything. Leading is having people with you. So everyone here knows I'm obsessed with Elevate's, name of my business. And I put one of my logos here, Elevate People. This is what's, so on my Notion, you can make banners at the top. And I'll actually put my banner at the top of this one so you can see what it looks like. But I turn this into a banner. So all of my Notion pages have a banner that says Elevate People. That's all I think about. I've got to prepare myself to come on here on Mondays and Thursdays and do the daily dose calls and all the other things that we do. I have to prepare myself to elevate all of you. I elevate people. That's what I do. I'm a lid lifter. And that's where, I learned all of this from John Maxwell, that the importance of having that kind of mindset. So John talks about practicing adding value to people every single day. So when I do the daily dose calls, I'm thinking about how can I add value to other people? When I think about doing this call today, I prepared for a long time for this call today because I want to add value to you. I want you to leave here saying that I am better now than I was an hour ago. It's just, I want to always add value to you. I hope this coaching program has added massive value to your life. So how do we add value to people? So first of all, what does adding value to others mean? Okay, it means being intentional about serving others. So we talk about leadership, we talk about servant mentality, servanthood. When you look at Jesus, he washed the feet of the 12 disciples. It's those 12 people don't work for him. He works for them. And as soon as someone joins my business, I'll say, listen, I'm here for you. I'm your best asset. I work for you. You need something, you call me. So I'm always the employee. I'm always the person that they can turn to. It goes on to say it's all about leaving others better than they were when you found them, which is Alex Tice's favorite quote. It's about leaving others better than they were when you found them. It's about enriching and enhancing the quality of life for others. So how do we enrich and enhance the quality of life for others? Number one, we do with health. And I am super into health. I mean, I research everything. I study a ton on the human body and supplements, and I'm actually helping Steve create a couple new supplements. I love health. I've loved it my whole life. I don't know if you know my whole story, but I was in a home ec class with like 30 other girls in high school on a dare. And I was the only guy in history to take this nutrition course in high school. And I ended up absolutely loving it. As a matter of fact, I ended up getting my master's degree in nutrition because I liked this health class in high school so much. My mother was a registered dietitian. You know, I wanted to go to, I was younger and I was kind of by myself or something. I don't know. Something happened where I had to go to a class with her because I guess there was no one to watch me. So I went to this class and, you know, I'm listening about vitamin A and vitamin B and I'm super young and I'm like, I knew what I was going to do in my life. I just love this, learning about the different vitamins and all the things they do. And it's just a super big passion of mine. So I love adding value to people by elevating their health score. I think the health score is fantastic, you know, and you can finally put a number to someone's health and you both can focus, you and your client can focus 100% on we have got to elevate this health score. And when you elevate someone's health score, how much value are you adding to them? I don't know what else you could do for another human being that's better. There's nothing you could do for them better. Like, well, I cut their lawn or wash their car. Man, that stuff is meaningless without the health. The most valuable thing you can do for another human being, help them with their health. Next thing that's not too bad is money. And there's a reason why people are struggling in the world or stressed out or getting divorced and all these other bad things. It's because of money. Money's a big problem. So we can add value to people because we can make them a whole lot of money. There's money to be made. There's unlimited money to be made here. It's not like you're stuck at some kind of salary or anything like that. It's unlimited. And everybody you bring in has an unlimited potential on income. Time. How valuable is time? You know, I know we just said health is super important, money's super important, but the only thing you can't get, you know, the only thing you can't get more of is time. So our time is super important. Boy, if you can get someone some time, extra time with their family, extra time to do the things they want to do, priceless. As Heather said, limitless, which is good, but it's also priceless. Personal growth. So adding value to people. So what I'm doing right here now is I'm helping you grow, lifting your lid. So when you help other people grow, you're adding massive value to them. You're making them a more valuable person, which is the ultimate value. So I hope all of you see the value in this course in that, boy, I've grown so much since starting this, whenever your starting date was. I hope you can see, because it's hard to see it in yourself. You know, I tell Cheryl every day because she doesn't see the personal growth happening in herself like I can, because I've been with her for 5 years now, like with her for 5 years now. And it's just a whole new person. You know, I was talking to Linda this morning before the Daily Dose call. And so 6 years ago, I talked about this lesson in personal growth and everything. And she's like, boy, I'm going to start this thing called the Nightly Dose. I'm going to do what Paul said and jump into personal growth. And if I'm going to grow and I'm going to read these books, I might as well read them out loud and other people can hear it too. So she wants to add value to others, but she's getting value herself while she's doing it because she's learning herself. So, but Linda giving that value to others, she's done 58 books now. She's on book 58. And it's a lot of great information she shared with the world in 6 years. So she's done an unbelievable job at adding value in this area of personal growth. But that's the area that I want to be known for, is that Paul got me health, he got me money, he got me time, but he made me more valuable. I really want to be known for that. And last, I wouldn't say last but not least, because this is the most important one, is the relationships that we look around. I mean, we just, a lot of you got back from Cheryl's house a couple of weeks ago. Tell me what's better than the relationships? Nothing. That is so valuable, because I know a lot of you have had relationships or been in work situations or home situations or have friend situations that were less than optimal. These people were not exactly elevators. They weren't looking to elevate you. There's people that there's lead, and then there's people who lean. So we all know some leaners, and maybe have been around some leaners in our life and not been around that had the best friends. We all love our friends from high school or college and stuff because we had a great time with them, but they weren't necessarily maybe the most go-getters in the world, or added the most value to our lives. Thanks, Rod. Rod said that this group has changed my life, and we're hoping it's in a positive direction. Love you guys. Glad you got value out of all this and feel that you've grown. And, I'm sure Rod would agree, and Becca and Caroline and everybody else here, that the relationships that we've developed here are priceless. And Heather, we had those retreats last year that were just out of this world. I mean, they're just, you can see the impact that relationships have. So those are just 5. I'm sure I could think of more. I wanted to, since we're doing the Power 5, I figure I'd find 5 things. And when I actually thought about those 5 things, I'm like, oh my gosh, the value we add here, in this coaching program is like, it's like on the billionaire level. There's a lot of value in these 5 things: health, money, time, personal growth, and relationships. So what's the 5 keys to adding value to people? Number 1, which is the most important one, is to value people. So you can't add value to people unless you value them. So I just have super high value for all of you. I'm not valuing myself. I value all of you. That's what makes me push myself to prepare these classes and to want to add value to you, because you're valuable. So where do you value people at? Are they kind of a nuisance in your life, or do you value people at a level 10? Like, I just love people. So just put it in the chat there, if you would, on a scale from 1 to 10, just be honest. Where do you value people right now? Is it, oh my God, they're everything, or is it more like a 2? Yeah. See the kind of community we have? It's all 9, 10. So we value people. That's what we do. So we got to always be thinking of ways to add value to people. So I am spending a lot of time thinking, what can I do to add more value to all of you? What can I do to add value to people I haven't met yet?
Yes. How can I type then in this?
So you're always got to spend time thinking of what can I do. You look at your people, if you're a captain, you have coaches on your teams, other captains, you have clients. What can you do to add value to those people? You're looking at them individually. They all have different individual problems. What can you do to elevate their life? How can I add value to him or her? So you'll always be thinking of ways. Number 3, look for ways to add value to people. So always be looking, be aware that I'm always on the lookout of a moment that I can add some value to someone. Super important to do that. Also do things that add value to people. So it's just not important to think of it, look for it. You got to do it. So do things that add value to people. So what could you do to add value to people? For the most part, it's picking up the phone, it's getting on Zoom with someone, whether it's a group of people or one-on-one. That's when the value exchange happens, is when you're communicating with them. And then, of course, number 5 is to encourage others to add value to people. That's what I'm doing right now, is not only do I want to add value to you, I want to encourage all of you on a level 10 to add value to other people. You know, there's a great movie out there called Pay It Forward. If you haven't seen it yet, stop whatever you're doing tonight, go watch it. It's just about don't pay me back. I love tons of people send me gifts and cards and things. I love all of it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I'm not looking for you to pay me or be like, oh, I owe you everything. No, what you have to promise me is that you're going to pay this forward. That what I gave to you, you're going to give to your 12 people. That's what I want to see. I want to see it paid forward. Don't pay me, pay it forward. And then have the same mentality with your people. Don't look for anything back in return. Don't expect anything in return, but ask them, will you pay this forward? I'm going to pour myself into you. Will you pay it forward? Huge, huge, huge. So number 2, practice walking slowly through the crowd. I love this story. I was with John at one of his first actual live meetings when he first wrote the book, The 21 Laws of Leadership, 20 some years ago. And this was a real story where this pastor, so John was sitting standing in the middle of the church in the aisle, a bunch of people from the church, and big people in the church. And the assistant pastor came in, literally walked through the whole group and went into the back into his office. And John's like, can all of you excuse me for a moment? He walks in the back and says, hey, what was that? What was what? So you just walked right past us. He's like, well, I got work to do. John said to him, you just passed all your work. The people is the work. The people is where all the value's at. I don't know what kind of paperwork or whatever this guy thought was the work he's got to get done. That's not the work you got to get done. The work is with the people. John said this guy almost single-handedly destroyed the entire parish and his leadership course. But now this guy actually works for John, and I don't know if he's the president of the company, or something, but he's super high in the company right now because that day changed his life. You have those aha moments where, man, he's right. What did I just do? And then everything changes. And he became a real big people person after that. That's a great story. So, and one of the things that's happened to me, so I remember we made Star School like 4 years ago, and I was just on this mission to get everyone on my team to go 2-star. And I had a difficult time getting anyone past 1-star. I'm like, you got to go 2-star, got to go 2-star, got to go 2-star. And it just seemed like, I don't know, if the drive wasn't there, the hunger, something wasn't there. For some reason, it dawned on me that these are great people and they're about impact. So I said to a couple of people, I said, you know what? Forget about that 2-star thing. What I want you to really do is go out and help 3 people become a 1-star. And they all did it within 30 days. It was like the floodgates opened for 2-stars. and I was talking to Cheryl about it. I'm like, I can't believe that was the whole key, was to not focus on yourself going 2-star. But these people got so motivated, so passionate about helping other people, because that's just the kind of people they are, that it meant 100 times more to them to help 3 people go 1-star than help themselves go 2-star. Now, for those of you that understand the compensation plan, it's the same thing. You go 2-star by getting 3 people to go 1-star. So they all became 2-stars. But that, it wasn't the focus. So when you change the focus, the results change. So I love this. I wrote this down here. Don't do this for the income. Do this for the impact, and the income will just flow in. And it's so true. And there's just, you look at players in other sports and things that are, you can see the guys doing it for the money. We have a guy here in Buffalo, actually, just like faking an injury and wants to get a new contract and all this stuff. And then there's other people out there, the Michael Jordans, that he actually had a special clause in his contract that said, if I want to go play a pickup game with some kids at a park, I'm allowed to do that, because in his contract that he didn't sign yet, it specifically said that you can never play basketball or any kind of sport, in your free time, because you're property of the Chicago Bulls. And he made him didn't want more money or anything like that. He just wanted him to change that sentence so that he could, because he loved playing the game. So it's the love of the people, it's love of the impact that is the focus, 100%. And then always, the income just flows in. John's never thought about income, but he's just thought about impact, wrote 100 books, and is, obviously a multimillionaire because of the impact he's made. So John also knows, I love his kitchen story. I don't know how many people here, if you're in John's program, if you just type in a yes, so I get a kind of idea of how many people listen to this recording. But that kitchen story made me laugh so hard, So he's got like Secret Service around him all the time, moving him around, but he wants to be with the people. So they're all huddled around him, and he's trying to walk and wave and shake people's hands. But of course, the security guards are protecting him, so they don't want to get near him. John's like, no, I'm here because of the people. So I want to be around them. So security guards don't want any of that, though. Like, no, you can't be with people. So they never let him go through the crowds, really. They try to get him to go through kitchens all the time. So he goes through the back entrance and through the kitchen. That way he doesn't go in the front door and be with people. So the kitchen, the security guards think they have him in a secure location now, and that John's going to be safe because he's in this kitchen. But there's all these cooks and people working in the kitchen. So John gets them all together, has a little huddle and shakes their hands and gets to exchange some pictures and hear about their kids and stuff. And the security guards are going crazy. They're like, we can't protect this guy from himself. Like, he just, he doesn't quite get this concept of don't talk to people. And he's like, I'm a leadership coach. People are my life. So security always gets mad at him because he's always making friends in the kitchen with people there or wherever he goes. So I thought that was just hilarious, the way he told that story, and that it's just who he is, So it's just who we are. I can see everyone here that typed in a 10. Everyone here is people person. Then John said that I'm not the most valuable person here. All of you are the most valuable people here. And that's so true. That it's not about me at all. It's not about Cheryl at all. She'll be the first to tell you that. It's about all of you. You are the value here. And that's why we want to prepare for this and help you become more valuable, because you are super valuable already. So your contacts, your clients, your coaches, your captains. Okay, so we got 4 C's, your contact list that keeps growing, your clients that you already have on the products, your coaches, your captains are the most valuable people. You know, those, that's in your life, that's where the value's at, is in those people. Of course, it's in your family too, and that, but it's with those 4 C's. So the value is with the people, not with us. We're not the most valuable people. It's our clients, it's our coaches, it's our captains that are out there. Those are the valuable people. And I just love that perspective on life and perspective on relationships. Number 3, just in the final part, is discover and practice your connecting strengths. So this is a great one to know, like, okay, what can I do to connect with people? You know, so I really didn't think about this, like, what is my connecting strength? But I'm just like, I gotta be high energy, I gotta be super friendly, positive. Hey, what's going on? And all those things about, you know, listen. You know, I got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. I'm going to listen twice as much as I speak. I'm going to be interested, not interesting. Like, I don't want to tell any stories about myself, or, and I'm not going to mention any names or anything like that, but I'm in other groups, you know, in this, over the past 25 years, of people, and you can see someone talking, you know, and they're on a roll, and then someone else starts chiming in their story. And I go with it, because I can't do anything. I can't walk over and punch the person in the head, but I want to, because that person that just interrupted the person who was talking is trying to be interesting, not interested. He thinks his story is better than the person who was just talking. It's not that way at all. I don't want to tell a story or say anything. I want to hear from them. Tell me. You know, and there were all these studies done. So there's these people who, there was a huge study done on airlines where they had someone planted next to somebody. So the person sat down, and then the planted person sat down and said, "Oh, so how's it going?" And they specifically train those people to keep asking questions and to never mention their name, never mention what they do, never mention their family, never mention anything about themselves. And then when what's going on? If I get cut off again, I'm just minor fire in my house. When the people got off the planes, there was people there to kind of like corral them, just these, and there was like, I don't know, 15, 20 people or whatever that they did this to. And they pulled them aside and said, "Listen, you're not aware of this, but we were running a random study, and we would just like a few minutes of your time, if you could tell us a little bit about the person that you sat next to." And the most common answer from all 20 people, and they did this on multiple flights and everything, was that the person next to them was interesting, super interesting. And then they asked them, well, what's their name? And they're like, "Oh, I don't think I ever got their name." You know, so the truth is that for the 2-hour plane ride, the person who they said was interesting never said a word. They just asked questions and wanted to learn about the other person. And the other person spent 95% of the time talking, but they said the person that they were talking to was interesting, which is really interesting because they don't know a thing about them. So it's super important to have that mentality going into when you're meeting someone new. I love what John said about one of his top strengths is humor. So he tries to, you know, meet someone and crack a joke or, you know, make something funny. I love compliments. I think compliments, genuine compliments, if you can look at a person and say, "Oh my gosh, I just love your blank." It's super difficult for them to not like you from that moment on. So I think compliments, genuine compliments. I'm just looking for, you know, blow smoke anyone. I'm looking for a genuine compliment I can give to another human being, guy or woman. And You know, John goes on though to say that if humor is not your strength, don't use it. You know, because we all know people that think they're funny and that it's their connecting strength, but they can't tell the joke to save their lives. You know, so just know if you're that person to not use that quality if that is not your strength. Authenticity is great. You know, I at first when I heard this a long time ago, be you, I'm like, that's bad advice to give to people because they're not that good. But then I've learned through this industry over the past 25 years that you got to be you because that is your superpower. And I have seen people in longevity and in other companies be themselves, which I didn't think was a good idea personally, but they have like 100 times more people than I have right now because they just attracted their tribe. You know, I'm not I don't have any tattoos. I'm not out there crazy, you know, but if that's your thing, you know, you'll attract a tribe like that. You know, so whoever you genuinely are, don't try to cover that up or, you know, be ashamed of that or like that. Be you, 100% you. Because there's a whole lot of people out there that are only going to resonate with you. But if you cover that up, they're not going to resonate with you. You know, we all, I think sometimes try to put on this front where we're awesome and we're this and that and something else. Where if you just come out and be the bold you that you are, there's going to be a group of people that are going to be so attracted to you because they're exactly like you. But if they don't know the authentic you, they'll never resonate with you because they don't know the real you. So I can't encourage you enough to just be you because there's, you know, you got to look at this world as abundance. You can't just say, oh, there's only a few good people out there. That's not true. There's a gazillion type good people out there. I mean, you know, I mentioned that, you know, I'm looking for the top 20%, but the top 20% is still 70 million people in the United States. It's a lot of people. So it's understanding there's massive abundance out there, and that all I'm looking for is the people that really I connect with them and they connect with me. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be going to dinner with these people, hanging out with them, going to conventions, probably renting houses with them. You know, it's just got to be someone that you just connect with. You know, so it doesn't, you know, I don't just be like, oh, I got to talk to Cheryl again today. I mean, like I go to her house all the time. I hang out with her all the time. We talk on the phone 10 times a day. I mean, it's just someone I love communicating with. And there's many of you that I love doing that with. And I know that you have people in your life that you're just like, I love that they're in my team. You know, because you just love talking to them and working with them. You hang out with them even if they weren't on your team or were in longevity. So it's that genuine connection you have with other people. Now there's other people that are not like you and you don't have that same feeling when you're hanging out with them. You're like, man, not that you don't like them or anything, you don't value them, but it's just, you wouldn't go on vacation with them. You know, you're not going to ask them to dinner tonight. Where the real authentic connections, the people you connect with, you would do anything with them. The next thing is a real connecting strength, and it needs to be for everyone, is confidence. You know, I always say the person with the most certainty is going to win the conversation. So if they're certain they can't afford this, and they're more certain about it than my certainty in that they need this, then they're going to win. They're going to, so leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. They're going to influence me into thinking that they don't have the money for these products. So yeah, they influence me. Like, so I don't ever let anyone influence me. I am absolutely certain you need these 90. Like I'm not in the 99, 99.9. Like I am 110% sure that you need this, that I can help you. that this is non-negotiable. And they feel that from me. They feel that energy. They're like, man, this guy isn't BSing around here. Like, he's into this. And you wonder where I get this from. Just go listen to Doc Wallock for 10 minutes. The guy's, authentic and confident in that he doesn't just think taking the 90 is a good idea for some people. He's positive about it. I mean, if I'm 110, he's 210%. So it's having that, being absolutely certain about what you do. I'm absolutely certain that network marketing is the greatest profession on the planet. And I will stand toe to toe with anyone on this planet in that debate. If someone watching this video, I know it's going to be out there for the world to see. If you think your profession is better than network marketing, I will go on national television. I will go on live on Facebook or whatever you want to do. Whatever platform you want, I will be there and I will crush you, because there's no profession in the world that can come close to this. Nothing. So I'm absolutely positively certain, 100% absolutely certain that network marketing is the best industry. I'm 1,000% positive that Longevity is the best company in that industry. I mean, there's no one that has better products than us. I mean, we don't have a good plan A. We got a good plan A, B, C, D, E, and F. I mean, it's ridiculous what we can do for hard tissue, soft tissue, digestion, immune system. I mean, I was just changing my auto ship today. I'm like, man, the immune products out there are just crazy. I mean, you can take so much. There's so much available out there to improve your immune system. How could anyone be sick with all these immune products that we have? It's unbelievable. No other company in the world comes close to having the quality of products that we have. We have 15 different brands that are just outstanding, totally outstanding. So hope. John talks about, once someone turns on the light for you, you will spend the rest of your life turning on the light for other people. So I want to be that person in your life that turned the light on for you. You want to be that person in other people's life that I turned the light on for them. They were in the dark. They didn't see how important health was. They didn't see a way out of their health problems, that their health scores are 30. They didn't see a way out of that. They just figure, listen, I'm at 30 and this is just how it's going to be. It never dawned on them that 50,000 a year could turn to 50,000 a month. Like, that is just it's impossible. It's inconceivable that could happen. But it happens every day in this industry. We're turning yearly incomes into monthly incomes. So that hope comes back. I'm so far in debt. I'm so this, that. I can't do what I want to do. All these horrible things, where we turn a light on and show them the light. We help people see that you can have all the health you want, 100% health, 100% money, 100% time freedom, massive personal growth, and unbelievable relationships with all the people here in the coaching program. So hope is huge. That's a great connector. Boy, people will love you forever if you can turn a light on for them. Passion is great. People love enthusiasm, and it's contagious. I talked about that for half an hour this morning, how important enthusiasm is, and that it's a connector. People love energy. So if you don't feel like you're a high energy person, you got to change that. And I spent a half an hour this morning explaining how to change that. So I highly encourage you to watch that video. But I will tell you that the key to it is, it all starts with your vision board and your story. So it's not your past story. It's not your present story. It's that perfect story. You got to become 100% focused on that story, because if you change your story, you change your life. Once you change your story, you're going to have better beliefs. You're going to have better thoughts. You're going to have better enthusiasm, better emotions. You're going to tap into your potential. You're going to take more action, and you're going to get the results you want in life. But to me, personally, it all starts with changing your results, which means not focusing on the paycheck you got last month or how many people enrolled or dropped out this month. Like, none of that matters. What only matters is that perfect story that you're focusing on. Because the more you focus on that, the more that's going to happen. If you keep on focusing on, oh, my volume wasn't where I wanted it to be this month, that's going to happen again in August and in September and in October. And it will keep on going on all year, every year. Exactly. Back up. Where focus goes, energy flows. Super difficult because you're looking at end of month right now. I'm looking at my current situation, right? Super easy to get tied up in the present and forget about the vision, the perfect story. So it's just rewiring your brain and saying that it doesn't matter what's happening now. The present doesn't matter. What matters is this perfect story. And I am so into this perfect story. And the key to the perfect story is the gratitude you feel while you're reading that. Man, I feel so grateful that I have all these things in my life now. When you get to that place, your life changes almost instantaneously. All those things just start manifesting. But you got to become grateful for those things. And then last but not least, and this is the thing, and there's so many things to love about John, but his genius is in simplicity. And there are times where I am the king of turning easy into hard, especially in my own brain. And I think we all do this, and there's a saying, KISS, keep it super simple. So I got to keep reminding myself of that, that we got to make this super simple. It's 3 things. It's this, that, so how do we make this simpler? And I think a big learning curve for me was going through Star School and making that workbook up, and yet having so many people, even on my own team, being like, I'm confused on what to do. I'm like confused on what to do. I wrote an entire manual that went word for word for word in every single thing you do, step by step. I mean, it's there's nothing else in network marketing like it. But it wasn't simple. It was complete. It was robust. It was thorough. It contained everything, but it wasn't simple. So it's simplifying things that you want to always, you're talking to your clients, you're talking to your coaches, you're talking to your captains. Something in the back of your mind has got to continually remind you, how do I make this conversation simple? How do I make this whole, because they're lacking clarity probably at the moment, whether it's your client, your coach, or captains on your team, they're lacking clarity. So you are trying to simplify things and make things clearer for them so that they can get on track and not to think about a million things. So that's why I broke it down. What do? We enroll, we coach, and we lead. That's it. So that's it, Paul. I thought we did a whole bunch of things. No, we enroll people in. Now there's a process to that, but we enroll people in. And then once they're in, we don't just let them go. We coach them. As a matter of fact, all these circles behind my head mean that we're certified to coach people. You are the best in the world and have the best knowledge in the world on how to coach people. So we enroll them, we coach them, because that's what we do. That's who we are. That's what we're the best at. And then we lead them. We lead them to better lives. We lead them to becoming 1 stars, 2 stars, 4, 5 stars. So enroll, coach, lead. That's all we do. Couldn't be any simpler. All right. I would love to get some feedback. I know I was really impressed with how many people said yes that listened to this. And it's great. It's 20 minutes, so it's not like a lot of lesson to listen to. It's amazing that I took a 20-minute lesson and took 50 minutes to explain it. But that is my superpower to take you usually take a 10-minute lesson and break it down to like 5-minute summary, but Cheryl's going to love that I took a 20-minute speech and turned into a 50-minute teaching. But it's my job to take what he teaches and put it into coaching terminology so that you can apply it to your business. A lot of these things, you go to like a Tony Robbins or John Maxwell, or wherever things you're listening to, even Deb Erickson, she's not in the coaching program. They're not in the coaching program. So they don't understand exactly what we do. So I can interpret what they're saying and to make it really make sense to all of you. that being said, I'd love to hear from anyone that wants to share something that John mentioned during the 20-minute video that he had, or that struck you, that made a big impact on you, or something I've said today that you feel should be brought up again because it was a key point that really had a big impact on you, and that you felt the change from hearing that. So I am missing the, oh, here we go. Okay, Debbie.
Hi. You know, it's funny. I really like this program, and I was on vacation. I guess I did listen to it when I was on vacation because I got ahead by accident.
Okay, good.
I've done both parts. And I really loved John, and I'm going to share this next week, what I loved about what I already went ahead on by accident.
Okay.
But the whole thing is, you know, from last week, I didn't mention this, is like, you really need to focus on what makes you connect better. And I love the way that you said today, because I love the way you expanded. You know, you need to, you know, and it's something that you've been saying all along, you need to listen and ask questions. Just like on the airplane, that person is probably asking a lot of questions on the airplane. And that person seemed interesting to that person. And so, and we need to stop and think about the simplicity before we start saying things to people, because when things get complicated, they get turned off. So thank you.
Yes, excellent point. You know, we know so much from being certified holistic coaches that we want to take out the fire hose and pour it all into people. You can't do it. They need to know it all, but you can't do it all on day one. You got to
exactly
grip on them and give them a little bit, and hey, let's just get you to first base here, you know, and
yeah,
step one.
Thank you.
Super great point, Debbie. Caroline in Colorado.
Hi. Just a couple little things you did.
How's 75 hard going?
Amazing.
You got day 2 kicked already, or you day 3 kicked? Okay.
We're on day 3.
Wow.
I am a little bit behind on my water, so
yeah,
but I'll get it done.
What is it, like 134 ounces a day or some kind of crazy number?
128 is a gallon.
Oh, 128. Okay. And that's not bad. I drink a gallon. But you got your two exercises in today already?
No, one comes after I feed the marching band children.
Oh, wow. Outstanding.
I got to feed 75 people too. But anyway.
Adding value.
Yes. So, and that's, he made he quoted Wooden in saying, when you think of ways to add value, that when opportunity comes, it's too late to prepare. So to always be ready to add value to people.
That's a great point.
Yeah. And he was a great coach.
That goes back to the personal growth. I mean, when you pour yourself into personal growth, you're always preparing yourself. You're wondering, why am I even reading this book? Or why am I even doing this? Sometime in your life, probably in the near future, you're going to be like, oh, I heard that before. And so you have something to now add value because you learned that, you know, a month or 2 or 3 or 4 ago. And now you can use that. So it's being prepared ahead of time. When they ask you that question at that moment, it's too late to learn then. You had to have learned it back a ways.
Yes. And that when you look for the ways to add value, that who we are determines what we see. And what I look for is what I see. The part about encouraging others to add value to people is that we are a river, not a reservoir. And that what has been poured into us is for us to use and then pour into others. And that multiplication of adding value is another little piece that I really liked. So
yeah,
just those.
It does multiply when you focus on that. Super, super, super. Well, you're one of the best there is at adding value to other people, and we appreciate you and value you, and thank you for all the value that you've added to this Institute of Holistic Health. All right, let's go over to Jennifer.
Hi.
Jennifer, I'm super happy to see you today.
Yeah, so happy to see
you. Like, we don't spend enough time together here.
I know. I wish I could be on these calls more. I'm just so grateful. It's always adds so much value when I can jump on.
Wait. I got to practice my complimenting here. Jennifer, you look unbelievably beautiful today. Like you got it all done up today. You look
Thank you.
outstanding.
Thank you.
I want to put that out there to you.
Why, thank you, sir. You look beautiful in your blue background with the IWH thing.
I got a great team that designs these beautiful things for me.
I love it. Well, I guess I could get one too, maybe.
Yeah, just call Becca.
Okay, cool. So I was actually quite struck by 3 things that you said today about really rewriting our story. I mean, I've kind of been dealing with wanting to do that, but I think it was just confirmation about, like, you know, it doesn't have to be what's going on now. It's like, you know, it's what you want it to be. So calling those things that are not as though they were, and I love that. The other thing that I wanted to just share is, you know, we do know a lot. And I think one of the things that I've found that's been super effective about when I'm sharing with a new person is really focusing on what I expect to see. These are the things I often see: people sleeping better, whatever it is, talking about, I expect you in 90 days to, you know, I mean, I don't want to, you know, project what it's going to be, but always talking about things in the benefit. Yeah. So, you know, sharing with people that I often see health scores elevate from a -50 to a +50 in 3 months. Or, you know, and I keep track of my health score. You know, I keep really close track of the numbers, so I can always quote them of, you know, how many months it took this person to get from here. Of course, I don't use names, but, you know, really having that, being prepared with that all the time. And kind of just shutting up a little bit about all the details, you know, because, you know, we do know a lot, and letting them ask questions rather than dumping on them all the knowledge that we might have. And I know you all know that, but focusing on the benefit that we always get. We always get benefit. And that's really important, to make sure that people, you know that we're going to be there for the long haul, no matter what. Like today, I just talked to somebody and I said, listen, it doesn't matter to me if you spend X, Y, or Z, because she was talking about how, well, I want to do this, but I don't always want to have to spend X, Y. And I say, you know what? That's not what's important to me. What's important to me is that you get benefit and that you elevate your health score. So if we need to make any adjustments, I'm going to do everything in my power to help you afford this. You know what I mean? I'm going to, you know, I didn't get into all the details of she's got to find 5 people and any of that, but just, I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be consistently there. And what, you know, I don't care how long it is. I'll talk to you every month, you know, whatever it takes, where you want to get you there. And so just always painting that picture of being a solid rock for them, an accountability person, and willing to just be there, and that you're going to, you know, be that rock for them. So that confidence, I guess, to be able to say, you know, no matter what, I know I can help you. We may have to go up this mountain or down that mountain or whatever it is, but no matter what, I'm going to be there. And, you know, and if I can't help you with this, I'm going to find someone else that can help you. You know, I mean, like, no matter what, you're going to get help working with us. So
yeah,
that's about
all.
Such
a great point. You know, when you go ahead.
Well, I wanted to say one thing, and I know now really isn't the time to talk about this, but it came up in my mind. It's probably for another call. And I think, because I was checking myself on this issue of confidence, like, I generally am extremely confident. However, I do run into enough people telling me, I don't like the sweetness. I don't like this. I don't like that. I'm having this problem. My digestion's this. You know, I do run into enough of those type of challenges to where I have to be very, very firm at times. Listen, we have 4 other versions, you know, and so just that concept of fine tuning and troubleshooting when people's digestion is not what it should be. So therefore they're having diarrhea, or they're having this, and all of those different types of things, that because our program isn't as simple as just here, take this, it is a lot of, you know, dancing through the different levels of support. I think that is probably something that I still need help with. And I certainly know that I'm constantly looking at training my team to get better at that fine tuning. And it's not something that a novice is going to be really good at. And so that's where I struggle still a little bit, I guess. And I'll just throw that out there for another conversation. But
no, that's great. Well, let's address that right now. So there's a story going on in all of our minds, and there's a story obviously playing in your minds. And there's things really, when you keep on digging deep and getting to the root of things, which is what we do for health and what we do for the mindset, it's you and everybody links pleasure and pain to certain things.
Right.
So what I've done, and so my big thing is to elevate people. I want to make them better. I want to make their health score go up, make their income go up, all these things go up, personal growth go up. So how am I going to do that? How am I going to add value to people? Well, I know that the key is to look for problems. So as a very young kid, I'm watching this Johnny Carson show and television, a late show. I'm at my grandfather's house, super late, and you know, I love going there because I get to stay up late and watch Johnny Carson. And you know so Johnny has the world's greatest salesman sit on the chair next to him, and the guy goes, Johnny goes, well, what makes you think you're the world's greatest salesman? Like, who gave you that title? The guy goes, I did. And Johnny goes, well, if you're so good, sell me something. The guy said, well, what do you want? We want to sell you. Johnny said, well, sell me this ashtray. Now, back then, people used to smoke on the Tonight Show, you know, as guests. So the salesman goes to Johnny, well, why would you want to buy that ashtray? Johnny goes, well, because it matches my desk. It looks good. It's professional. He gave a whole bunch of things. And then the guy asked him, well, how much would you be willing to pay for something like that? And Johnny goes, I don't know, maybe $10 or $15. The guy goes, sold. Give it to you for 10. So it's always looking for a problem. So what I've done in my mind ever since a little child is I've associated massive pleasure to hearing about problems. So when someone tells me, oh, I didn't feel good. Didn't feel good at all from the BTT or the osteo or something. Oh, awesome. Like that gets me juiced because now there's a problem and I'm valuable now because I get to solve this problem. Okay. So I'm looking for those things. We would all be out of a job if this was super simple. The human body was like, oh, just take this one pill and we'll all be perfect. You know, that would be great, but it's not how it is. We all know that those other companies lie. Oh, just take this one supplement or this one. There is no one nothing. It is all a science and an art. This is just as much art as it is science. I go into this knowing that I'm going to read what's going on and react to it. You know, we put up the troubleshooting guide. We put up, we have the whole community here of super intelligent people. I mean, the smartest people on the planet when it comes to health. You know, there's all these different Facebook groups. So whenever if you ever don't know the answer to the question, there's so many people you can reach out to find the answer of how to make the adjustment. But it's loving the problem, loving that, you know, you're working with them and it's being in the moment and that, listen, there's a science to this, but there's also an art. So we got to work with each person individually. They may need some more enzymes. They may need some I-26. They may need some more probiotics. Who knows what the combination is going to be for that person to get their gut right, but we're going to figure it out. Now we got a pretty good guess. We got the gut restoration program. That's a straightforward program. You go on that. We feel very confident that that's going to fix people, but maybe they can't afford the whole thing or that, you know, they have a special situation. So it's a lot of read and react and problem solving and loving the fact that you're a health coach and that you embrace those things every day. You know, this is just part of the job.
Yeah. And I mean, I so appreciate that. You know, I do find that this is, I mean, I generally find, I would say that it's not that I'm not having victory and I don't know what to do, like to try this or try that. Because I do, I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, but I guess I feel a little bit concerned about my team more than myself in this. And I make myself very available. I know everybody's available. And I repeat that too. We have the answers. It's just, it's more when I don't know how, and this is truly an art. And this is where I think the continual, the art of learning about people and personalities, because where I struggle is when I feel like there's no in. And meaning if I have somebody that trusts me enough, there's no problem because I know what steps to try. I so appreciate in the health course that we have, you know, A, B, C, and how Dr. Conaway's come with the gut program. And, you know, I've had phenomenal results with the gut restoration 21-day program. But it's when somebody And I guess it just comes down to saying, listen, you know, do you want the choice of just going back to what you were doing before, or are you willing to stay the course? Do you want to go pay your doctor $500 to diagnose you with something that's not going to help? I mean, I just had that conversation with somebody. And, you know, or do you want me to help you without charging you? Your financial responsibility is just for the supplements. Are you going to stay the course? And I guess there's a level of confidence about, you know, being willing to really say, look, I know the level of value that I'm bringing to the table here. So, yes. And presenting that in a way without getting pissed, you know, without getting frustrated, without getting irritated that, you know, you've said it 3 times or whatever. And being able to kind of re-say it in another way, maybe in a way that they didn't hear it, to say, listen, I don't think we've fully exhausted the potential here, I guess is what I'm getting at. And will you trust me again to try something else? But, you know, sometimes people just don't have that much bandwidth to do something more than 1 or 2 times if they're not getting the perceived results that they're looking for.
Yeah. So, you know, I've been doing this for 25 years and I have had every situation imaginable happen to me. So I think what I have done is I've learned from that. And I think to myself, how could I have prevented that from happening? So I say a lot up front.
To the person?
Yeah. So what I'll say is first of all, they take the health evaluation. They have a score of 30. I ask them, are you okay with that? That's been a life-changing question for me, for other people. And they have to say no. So if people love where they're at in life, whether it's health or economics or something, you can't help them. So the 2 things you can't, well, the main thing you can't teach someone is hunger. Right. How bad do you want that need to get better? How bad do you want to be healthy? Or do you just okay feeling like crap all the time? Are you okay with those migraines? Are you okay with blood pressure, high blood pressure medication? They got to say no. And they got to say no in a way that I'm convinced that they mean no. I'm done with that. And then I'm like, well, are you ready to make a change? Because there's a lot of people I met that didn't like the score, didn't like the situation, but they weren't willing to make the change. Are you willing to make a change with me? This is a whole lifestyle change. It's a whole way of thinking. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do this. Great. This is going to be a process. So I'm telling them up front, this is going to be a process. First of all, this isn't just happened overnight. You may have started feeling bad recently, but this has been brewing for 30 years. I can't, you know, when we put someone on glucogel with a knee problem, that knee problem didn't happen last week. It started when they were 25. They're 50 now, you know, so this has been happening for a long time, building up. So I can't fix you in 30 days. I'm going to need at least 90 days minimum to work with you. Are you willing to give me that kind of commitment? Because if you're just doing this for 30 days to see how it goes, I'd rather you just keep your money and not use it, because I can't help you in 30 days. Just being straight up honest with you. And they love the honesty. They love the respect. They're like, hey, I'm in for 90. Now there's no contract or anything like that, but I just need your word that you're going to give me 90 days and we're going to work this through. And I tell them right up front, this is a science. I've been doing this for 25 years. I'm 100% confident I can get your health score to 90 and fix all of these. You know, they told me the 3 goals. I'm 100% sure I can help you achieve all those 3 goals. Everything I'm going to recommend you up front is an educated guess. It's a very good guess, but it's a guess. And I can't put them on too much at once because their body can't handle it. So I got to baby step them. So I want to give them all this stuff. And Dr. Wallock gives everybody everything on day 1, where that's not my philosophy. So I baby step people. I get them, you know, what they need now. And I say, listen, this isn't going to go, this may not go as fast, but it's going to be a better way of doing it. And if you take the time up front and you get a great client that's willing to take the 20 days to rebuild their gut, you know, do those type of things, their whole life will change. So you're still looking for hungry people, whether it's a coach or a client, someone that really wants to make a change. Because, you know, 80% of the people out there, or at least, I don't know, 50 to 80, somewhere in that number, at least 50% are not willing to do it. You know, so don't be shocked when you meet that person that won't be willing to work with you and I will do whatever it takes to get from point A to point B. I want to get to point B so bad, whatever point B is, that I will find a way to go around it, over it, under it, build a helicopter, like whatever it takes. You know, I was in the Marines, and this is my mentality. It's whatever it takes. But I realize that the world isn't like me, and they don't have the mentality that you and I have, where I don't. Well, listen, I don't care if we got to try 500 different products. We're going to figure out a way to fix this. It's that whole light bulb thing. I mean, took 10,000 tries, and it wasn't 10,000 failures. It was just 10,000 ways of not inventing the light bulb. Well, you're muted.
I think, okay. Okay, great. Yeah, so I so appreciate that. And, I think part of the reason why I'm bringing this up, and I hope it's of value to other people, because I can only imagine that people who have less experience than you and I and others really do struggle with this. But I also work with a lot of clients. And so I probably run into, categories of people who are obviously less committed than others. And I think maybe what I'm reflecting into myself is that, there does come a point when you're super duper busy and pouring into people, where when somebody isn't receiving what you have to offer, that you have to set a healthy boundary and say, there's not a too nice way to say this, but you kind of have to, you either have to decide that you want to keep going down this road, or, I probably can't help you. And being willing to say that to somebody, because the truth is it's taken you, Paul. You guys have just come into a whole new elevation with this whole keto thing. That didn't happen 10 years ago. That happened within the last couple of years. So we're always keeping going with our own processes, and I think that we do have such incredible value. And if we can, but I don't know, I just, there's a few clients that it's just like, it doesn't seem to matter what I say. They're just like, they just have this weird, like, wall up.
Right. So whether you're talking to a client or one of your coaches, this is always 20% strategy and 80% psychology, mindset.
Right.
I tell everyone you're 6 inches away from achieving the perfect body, perfect health. But the 6 inches is between your 2 ears. It's having the mentality to build this business, no matter how many no's you get, no matter what bad things or good things, I mean, I just talked to Becca earlier today, she's making calls, building a business, has horrific things going on in her personal life. We all have things going on, but it's that ability to understand that my mindset is the most important thing. So it's 80% mindset for everybody, and only 20% the strategy and what supplements to take or how to build this business. And the strategy is just as much science as art, but it's teaching people the mindset. So I can give you the perfect Keto 90 program. I can give you the perfect workout program. I could literally help anyone in the world lose weight. Why is 80% of the world obese? It isn't because the strategy is bad. It's because of their mindset. So we as health coaches, first of all, we spend a lot of time on mindset training for all of you to first of all work on your own mindset. But then we got to go to our clients and to our coaches and change their mindset. It's not about changing which multivitamin they're on, or which, if they're using powder or liquid BTT. The big change is in their mindset, that we're going to get them to see things differently and have a different mindset towards weight loss this time. Hey, I meet people every day that gain and lost weight 10 times. What's going to make this time different? Oh, my strategy is better. My strategy is not better than, I think it is, but honestly, the other strategies would have worked too, but they don't have the mindset. So that's why we pride ourselves, especially in the keto program, that this is 20% strategy and 80% mindset. And we're the only program out there that addresses the mindset side of things.
And maybe I need to get my clients more on some mindset training when they're
Absolutely.
Just clients. Yeah,
they need mindset training way more than they need nutrition training.
Probably that might be where I miss my missing link. So thank you so much for taking the time, Paul. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. I think that did add a lot of value to people. So we had a little bonus session today for those of you that stuck around to see that. It was fantastic. Thank you, Jennifer. And please do come back more often. Like, we really, really like you.
Thank you. I like you guys a lot too. I'm going to put this Thursday time on my calendar, if nothing else.
Okay. Do that. Awesome. Love you, love you, love you. Thanks everyone for coming. We're going to unmute the lines and have everyone say goodbye. Hope this was valuable to you. Hope, you know, you got a lot out of this, and we'll be back next week talking about Connecting Matters Part 2. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you on Monday at Mindset Monday.
Before I unmute everybody, Debbie wanted to say that she dealt with somebody this week, and she wants to thank you, because she knew how to handle it, and she handled it just like you did.
Perfect. Great job, Debbie.
All right. Bye, everybody.
All right.
Bye. Have a great weekend, everybody.
It was great. All right.
Bye, Jennifer, for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you so